Sweet.
So where do you post
Should just
this?
refresh. It should pop up here in a second and post that in the Discord.
Yeah, there we go. I just got the
So we got 0 peeps so far.
All right. It's live. It's live.
What's up, Los Crozo? How's it going? Come on. So today we're talking to Sam. This is really like impromptu. We'll probably make some highlights, by the way. But anyways, what's up, Marina? How's it going? Welcome to another stream. That's random that I should have probably posted, but here we are. Ivan, what's up? So we're talking to Sam. He is in the Discord. He's the admin here at the Discord. Basically, he's like pro freelancer, but he uses. I would say that you're like really good at DevOps and then WordPress, but it's not that he can't code. He just uses WordPress for freelancing because that's the easiest and quickest way to do things. So if you have any freelance questions, ask him questions. That's redundant. How am I doing? I'm good. Got up about an hour ago. Finally, an interview with Freelance. So I'm just going to ask him questions if you guys don't ask him questions. All right. So, Sam, how much experience do you have freelancing? When did you start?
So I started freelancing back in 2012. I've been playing around like web stuff, HTML, CSS for the longest time, making website back in high school. But in 2012 is where it was like more professional stuff or trying to get or making money.
How did you get your first client? If you were in high school, were you just making stuff for your friends or what?
Yeah, so it was like school projects. Like back then, we were using like Dreamweaver and GeoCities, Web Builder, and stuff like that. But yeah, nothing really, no paid work really. But so the first client was from word of mouth. They needed one, and I told them I could do it. Then got back home and Googled how to make one because yeah, I did. Yeah, that's how I started.
That's that
Really?
entrepreneurial mindset where someone asks you a question and you're like, "Yeah, I'll do it," even though I don't know how. Yeah, I'll do it. So what else we got? We got one question. Where do you find freelance besides word of mouth?
Well, you can provoke opportunities, right? Because they don't always come knocking at your door. So like I join groups on Facebook. So like you just need to provoke your own opportunities when you know like there's new business around in your area, or like that's best example was recently like I changed hairdresser, and while they were cutting my hair, I looked up their website and it was not very professional, so I offered them to
Yeah, but
make
how
the
did that
website.
go? How's that conversation go? How do you make that awkward? Like, hey, you have a shitty website. Can I make you? You can't say that, right? So
Well,
what
you
do you say?
can, because it's rarely the owner that cuts your hair, right? So I was on their website and I was like, hey, this isn't like really that doesn't represent you well, right? And did you know like because well, yeah, I'm using WordPress, right? So I told them they could like link their Instagram, Facebook, because you know like hairdresser they post like stuff on Instagram and stuff like that. So yeah.
I mean, that's pretty smart. Let's see. How do you get your clients word of mouth? So basically, Captain, I think he just goes out and he's just like, here's my business card. Here's my business card.
I just tried to not make it so pushy or sells like I didn't do this the first time I went there. So I start with like knowing the people first, or when you go to a restaurant, and you can do that too. What is a freelancer? Freelancer is someone that's, so you don't have the whole business, so you're not like you're sort of an entrepreneur, but you have a skill set and you use that skill set towards making extra income from that skill set. Josh, I'm not sure if you agree with that or.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's good. You got more questions. How do you charge? You flat rate, monthly fee, hourly? How do you structure that? How do you
So
figure
for
out?
the charge, it will depend. So like, let's say so when you first meet a client in freelance, right? So you're on your own. You maybe have never charged a client before, and you might not know what how much your hourly rate should be. So I rarely go hourly because it can go both ways. So like it will take you more time, and the customer wasn't expecting like that huge of a project, or at the opposite, like maybe going for charging for the whole project, you can make more. So what I do is always ask the customer for a budget or a goal, and from there work your way. So if the customers think he has like 2,000 for a project, don't do less for the customer, but like it's really a hard question. But I never go for hourly. Never. I've had bad
What's the
experience.
biggest What's the biggest project you've ever priced? 50K, 100K?
So yeah, the biggest was the biggest that I've got was 10K, and I got it 2 months ago, and I'm pitching a website for 50K this weekend tomorrow.
Dude, that's sweet. Let's see. Should you freelance or find a job? Try both.
Right. So like freelance and getting a job. So that depends on how you are as an individual, but um right now I can do both. So like I have my 9 to 5 and I'm getting experience freelancing. And the thing is, if you don't want to freelance for 2 or 3 months, you can afford to do that as a freelancer if you have a 9 to 5. Um, is that an animal? Yeah, that's a cat. Uh, how to find client? This is the main problem. So he meant, um, I mean, I might be generalizing here, but for most dev, I think the sell part might be the trickiest part. So there's two things you could do. You could ask for a sell, like you could partner up with someone who's good at like talking to people or selling, and give him like a percentage of the project, so you could focus on your main skills, which is making website or stuff like that. Before being a developer, I'm a salesperson, so like it's a good mix. So when I tried to do hourly, what happened is I was way off. So I thought the website. So I thought the website would take like Hannah 8 hours when I started. So I charged. I think it was $400 for the first website, and I ended up putting in like 25 to 30 hours. So it wasn't a good project. But I said yes, and I had to do it. We only have one reputation, right?
Right. Yeah. So
You do you create WordPress themes from scratch? So what I do is I use I might send the link to Joshua so you can link it back. But I use a framework called Divi from Elegant Themes. It's a theme that acts as like a visual builder if you want. So I can replicate. So I have a designer. I pay him for custom design in PSD, and I remake them in with WordPress with Divi. What type of profession do you find the most client?
you missed one.
What?
You missed one. How many pet websites did you have in your portfolio before you started? And by pet
I don't.
websites, I don't know if she
Okay,
means actually your cat, but
so how many website? That's yeah. So that's my pet peeve. I don't have a website yet. I haven't made my website since 2012. I've made many iteration of it, but I'm not sure if that's like a problem for every dev. But making your own website or having your own logos and stuff like that, it's so hard to. I don't know. I'm struggling with that,
where's your
but
portfolio? Don't you have one?
I don't. I can show website, or maybe I could link, or I could do some stuff, but like I don't. I don't. I just go in
All
there
right, so
and
as soon as this stream ends, time to make portfolio site.
I'll make a portfolio for you guys, and I'll show you some website I've done. What is DB for WordPress? Oh, DV, DIVI. Sorry about that, Morgan. Um, yeah, it's DV. I'll search. Yeah, you can look it up. It's they have yearly price and a lifetime price. What's the highest payoff project you've ever made? Did I answer that?
So
What is
basically,
it?
Sam has been helping me with my site. So the onfocus.gg website, he's been helping me because I'm building it with WordPress, and he's a wizard. So he deserves some recognition. Actually, he's gonna make videos on how to freelance in WordPress here pretty soon. So that'd be cool.
So JM, to answer you. So in the shortest time span, if a customer has, so that's the thing, when you freelance, you meet a client, they want a website, right? So all right, cool, they want a website, they know how much they want to spend on it, but normally they won't have like their text done, and if they do, they're not SCMs ready, or like for search engine optimization. They won't have images ready. So this is where most of the time I'll waste my time. So it's really important to be upfront with them where okay, this is the budget for the website, but I need the text ready for, and you can ask them to have their what do they want in their menus, and what is the average price you charge for a website. So for a landing page, I'll charge between $1,000 and $2,000 now, and for like a full well, website can be 5 to like 100 pages, right? It can be an e-commerce, it can be it depends really.
So yeah, he does. I mean, it's WordPress, right? So like, he you can do e-commerce with WordPress with WooCommerce, and then there's a whole bunch of plugins. So like Shopify and big e-commerce or whatever it's called, like you're stuck with their themes. Whereas in WordPress, you can edit all that stuff, and you still get the ability to make e-commerce without the $80 a month or whatever. Anyways, yeah, carry on.
So what is the best way to convert? So like converting PSD to HTML, CSS can be done in multiple ways. I'm not the best at it, so what I do, I'll just redo it. So I'll take the PSD on one screen and I'll just remap it onto WordPress. Really. What is the average price? All right. So how many projects do you? So Captain, I have a 9-to-5 job. So what I do is I try to have like one project at a time. But the thing is that as a freelancer, so you go out, you need to find your customer. You need to follow up with them. Whenever they say yes and they're ready, you need to have the proper documentation to make sure that you're not working for free. So you need to, how are you charging them? You need to have like a company, you're charging people, then you need to do the invoicing. So having one project at a time is a good idea, but at the same time, you don't want to have too much downtime between projects. So like when you know you're on your way to finish that client, just start to find another one. What happened after you launch the website if the customer won't maintenance, security, or help with the hosting? That's a great question, Marina. So what I do is I charge a flat fee per month that will include like maybe an hour. So that hour could be like maintenance. For the security, if you're saying like SSL certificate or maybe backup or stuff like that. If you go with a great host from the beginning, it might be more costly, but they will take care of your backups, so you won't have to purchase additional plugins and stuff
Do you
like
ever
that.
charge like a recurring fee, like maintenance fee, or
Yeah,
so you
25
do?
per month per site.
Dude, wait, what? You don't
So
charge
like,
like I would charge like $100 a month just for like to be on call. You don't ever do that?
well, you cannot charge like $100 a month for
Well, yeah, that's too much, but like
1,000
25.
websites. But so normally I'll charge $8 a month for like straight hosting. So it may sound like expensive for some, cheap for some, but for that price, like this include the initial setup fees, making database for WordPress and stuff like that. Where did you learn to program, Esteban? If you're asking me, I learned to program. I'm not a programmer. I don't want to put myself out there as a programmer.
That's
I
not
know
true.
HTML, I know CSS, but I've learned it by breaking stuff, really. Like there's a lot of trial and error when it comes to programming, where when you haven't gone to like CS school or stuff like that, or boot camp. I'm a self-taught, and yeah, I use WordPress because it's fast, and yeah. Does Echo have experience with NDA agreement? I got offered, but after I declined. You declined the NDA, and what was so it's not NDA, but like if I have a client that asks for like AdWords or stuff like that, I won't go at their competitor and offer like AdWords as well, because that would make no sense. How many hours do you work per day? How do you stay motivated, productive? For me, it's hard. So JM, I work my 9 to 5, and after work, I'll come here and be in my office for whatever stuff I need to do. So once you have a website and you have commitments, you need to be motivated. You need to deliver, man.
You gotta
So,
deliver on that brand, or you're not gonna have any more clients, basically. So you have to be.
because as I said earlier, you only have like one reputation, and if you really want it, you'll stay motivated. I have a big question about time tracking. Doing well. If you really there's project out there for time tracking, but I mean, instead of wasting time with that, this is where and why I work paid project and not hourly. So what I'll do is I'll deconstruct like a website into phases, and I'll charge for those phases.
But you gotta break that down. That's too vague.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So let's say the client wants an e-commerce, right? And it's a huge project, right? It could be like 500 or 1,000 items, and the e-commerce is a part of the actual website. So what we could do is say, okay, so for the website, let's do like a corporate one. So like a website with 5-page, a landing page, a splash page, maybe a splash page. They might want to have like a MailChimp embedded so they can collect emails. So let's say this is $5,000. So we'll get this project done, and after we'll add the e-commerce to the website. So this way, when you contact the client, you're not saying, "Oh, there's a website and it's 20 grand." Maybe like that's too much for them. If you break them down, the project in smaller chunks, I've got project that I wouldn't have by doing that too. Do you build website from scratch every now and then? Nimesh, I use WordPress. Is it really from scratch? Like, it's like buying a pre-made house and I'm just changing the roof and the interior. Yeah. Do you use Upwork? I don't, Sotero. I'm close to Montreal. I think Upwork is more US. I'm
No,
not
it's
sure, Josh.
there's a button on there you can check that says U.S. jobs only, but there's jobs for everywhere.
Oh, okay. So no, I don't, Sotero. Also, can I use tutorial-based project on my portfolio? Sotero, that's a good question. So what I would do if you have no project right now, let's say you want to like get into doing websites for like restaurant or different professional, you could just make not vague website, but like templates where it says my restaurant logo and have a fake menu and have a fake image or stuff like that. And when you go to see them, this is what I built. And if they want that, the website is already made. So like you could sell them previous work you've done and just get the money.
You gotta go faster. We're running. You got so many questions, and we got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, that's my first live, so I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do you need to learn code if you're using Divi Team? You don't, but knowing the basics like padding, margin, font size, font families, just how to edit stuff, but you don't need to learn to code. But you need to learn to use Divi, and Josh could tell you some stuff about that too. Is it profitable to create WordPress teams and Team Forest? Carl Thunder, if I knew how to create WordPress teams now, I would make my own website and sell them there, so you can build your own brand and not depend on Team Forest. How many projects in a month is your limit? I could take maybe 5 to 6, 1 to 2,000 projects, so like landing page or fast corporate work. But like if the project I have right now, which is an e-commerce, I only have one right now. Mind giving an estimate of what you make on average per month here? Kevin, do you want to like? I could tell you about the freelance part of it, but yeah. So I'm making like around. It depends on the project, but right now if I get the 50K project, it'll be a 70K year freelancing, and that's like through your website. Do you take payment before or after the project is complete now, you know? So what I do is, as I said, I break down. Sometimes it depends on the client. If it's a big client, I might do 50-50. So like 50 upfront, 50 afterward. For a smaller website, I'll do 25, 25, 25. Yeah, for 25. So like different bit, some parts I'll try to, and be clear upfront. Always be clear upfront. Don't have like weird times where you forgot to ask them, or I'll wait in the end. And you always want to be upfront with the client about payment. If you're scared that or you're not feeling them, have signed agreement with them too. Yeah.
Let me ask a question. What do you do when they tell you charge too much? If that's happened.
Where was that?
No, that's my question. What
Oh,
do you
that's
do?
okay. So define too much, right? So that's exactly the project 50K we have right now. The customer said, this is our goal. We don't have a set budget. So, and the project is 50K. So 10K for rebranding logos, 25K for website dev, and another 15K for marketing. So this is what it takes to reach the goal. So like if you meet a client that asks for a project for 5K and you code them for like 8 to 10K, I mean, this is what it takes. You can have 50 clients per year at 1K, or you can have 5 clients per year at 10K, and it will be like the same, way less work. So it all comes. I think the more comfortable you get with freelancing, the easier it gets to comes with those arguments. But you just need to be like confident about your skills. Where do you host the website for 8 a month? So Ivan, what I do is I have a reseller account. so I can keep the business. And it's easier when you, like there's problem with emails or like the name servers are messed up or stuff like that. I have all the access to all of my customer. Just make sure you don't buy a shared hosting and host multiple website there or multiple client. That doesn't look good for you if you do that. How you found your niche in web development? I've worked in industrial companies for the last 10 years, so I've got confident in that. So when I know what they want or what they need, so yeah. So it's easier to sell website. I host my own multi-site server for Bitcoin, Jake. That's pretty neat. What was the worst experience you have had with a client? The client didn't pay, and this is where you need to be professional because you have access to their domain and stuff like that. So like, don't do stupid stuff like putting. If the like, it will happen. You win some, you lose some, and this is from there I started to charge upfront. Do you use Elementor? Sotero, is that like a team? I don't know Elementor. Hosting is free these days.
AWS has 12-month free tier. I think it's a
So
free
yeah,
trial.
Morgan, like, and there's free plugin, there's free everything. Free doesn't mean good. I do paid work, so I'll use paid services. Paid services come with support, stability, and I don't want to say bad things about free stuff. Like it's fine if you want to use free. But like when you have a business, you need expenses too, and yeah. I need to host my client instead of setting computers. Can I see your portfolio, please? Do you sell maintenance for what website? Do you have contracts? I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry, but I need to do the folio, and hopefully I'll be back on stream with Josh, and we'll be able to show you some actual work we've done with Divi and help you with that further. Did you see? Blah, blah, blah. After you send code, how often do you follow up with the client if they don't get back to you? Now you know. So before I send a quote to someone, we've met and we've laid out a schedule for the launch of the website for the so like we do the mock-ups, we show them, do they accept the mock-ups, we get paid, we go forward. So it's rare nowadays that I'll send a quote and like waiting for the customer, their client that need and want their website. So what do you think about SEO nowadays? I'm not a marketing person, Carl. Well, not a web marketing person. So like the backlinks and stuff like that, I'm not the one to give you advice on that. So I have someone that does this for me.
We got 3 minutes left.
How long did it take you before you felt you were experienced enough to get on WordPress? Great question. You're never experienced enough. Like WordPress is free. You can have your own website right now. Just install WAMP onto your local machine and have a website and break stuff. This is all you learn. But to be like confident enough to get a client, just know like the basics. Like they need to buy a domain. You need to get a hosting. You need to point those. How do you create emails for clients?
WordPress is like really, there's a lot of DevOps behind WordPress, especially if you have a backend. Like you got to set up cPanel, you got to set up databases, you got to import, export SQL files. Like people are like, let's just drag and drop. Like when you have a backend with WordPress,
like,
it's complicated.
Hosting company made a good job about those one-click install, but they do come with some bad plugins that they're like in there. And yeah, so if you're like building like a landing page and stuff like that, keep in mind that WordPress comes with a lot of files in a database. So WordPress is not the best for optimization and fast website. I made a website with WordPress for my cousin in Ukraine. Cool. Can you freelance with only HTML and CSS? I'd say yes and no, because there's a lot of limitation. You wouldn't be able to have like a contact form. I might rebuild a website for someone that was pages use. Yeah, that's Casey. That's insane. Is there an unanswered question? What do you recommend your client hosting with? So like in the US, they have like cheap hosting service, but I like to have a local one. The server here are close to the client. It's better for the SEO and faster load speed too. What's the biggest problem what every client has with their site? Oh, so yeah, it's WordPress, right? So I didn't thought that through when I first started. Like right now I have 35 WordPress site online, and it's kind of hard to keep them update all at once. So I found a website where I can set all my website in there and see like I can one push on the push of a button update all of the website. Where do you find your clients? So like I said earlier, word of mouth. I have a big mouth, and I like to pitch a lot of people like yeah, you should have a new website. I could help you with that. So when you sell a website, right, it's about helping them. You're not just selling them something. So every business need like salesmen to like grow, and the website is like a 24/7 salesman. If they have to hire a salesman, it would cost them like 60K a year when you could have like a website for 8K. Great deal. Do you plan on becoming a digital nomad?
Pick a few more.
Sotero, I wish I could, but not right now. What was that, Josh?
Oh, just pick a few more.
Yeah, sure. I'm pitching website speed for SEO my client. What about US business hiring freelancer from abroad? For the US market, Josh, we need to pick up on that. I have no idea. Davis?
All right, yeah, let me answer that real quick. Just business hiring freelancers from abroad. Yeah, so they'll do that, but mic is low. All right, turning mic up. Yeah, they'll hire you, but sometimes there's NDAs and they require you to live here. But they'll still do it because it's cheaper generally, as long as you don't live in a more expensive country like Finland. Alan, we're just about over, so I want to keep these kind of video format so people can watch these later. And if it goes to an hour and a half, no one's going to watch it. So let's keep it short. Sam, go ahead, pick a few questions, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, sure. So anyone got question about like DevOps, cPanel, WordPress, DV? How long have you learned before learn about what exactly? WordPress, web dev? That's a broad question. Web dev. So I started like on website like Codecademy back in 2011, but I'm not, as I said, like I don't know much about JavaScript or but yeah, I have like maybe 5 years of on and off HTML, CSS. Do you do automated testing on your project? I don't like I just do stuff locally, and when it's ready, I upload it to the website. Do you implement your code into? So yeah, there's a way to implement JS. Oh, maybe Josh can answer Alex's question.
Can graduating boot camp help you get a job? Of course. Anything helps. I mean, the more experience, the better. If it's easier, is it easier than having 4 complete? Yeah, no. So the thing is, you need both, bro. You need projects and education. Okay, so we got 1 minute left. Pick a few.
All right. Do you prefer the 9-to-5 job or freelance? I prefer the freelance, but I don't have enough or I'm too. Yeah, that's a tricky question and it's a good one. So like if you are down or can afford to risk or just quit your full-time job and do freelance, then do it. I really prefer freelance because you work on your own terms. From scratch team or any pre-design? Nicholas, what do you mean? How did I guess my? So I got my first client from I think it was a customer I had, and they were saying like, "Hey, I need or I would need a new website," and I told them I could do it, so I had to work or look up Google how to make a website easily, and WordPress came out, and the rest is history.
So that's like that's a mindset thing. Like you need to have a yes man kind of mindset. You need to be like if someone says, "Hey, can you do this?" instead of being like, "No," you need to be like, yep,
Were
and
you
I'll figure it out."
Sotero? So are you nervous? So like, have you ever someone asked you like, sell me this pen? So this is what you learn at sales school, and like this is weird, but having you need to get out of your comfort zone and never bullshit a client. But if you know you can learn it, just say yes and do it. So the website I'm pitching right now, there's a lot of JS and a lot of custom stuff to do that I don't know how to do it. I found someone to do it. I'm outsourcing the job. I said yes, and I'll get the project. Sell me that pen,
Yeah,
man.
dude. Yeah, he's like, this is why we're doing the stream because he's got that
Um,
motivation. I think we're good. We got to wrap up.
yeah, we need to wrap up. So, like, everyone, if you got some WordPress question, make sure you join the Discord, Josh Discord.
Yeah, links in the
Um,
description of the
like
live stream. So
and hopefully we should be have another one anytime soon.
yeah, we'll do
So
some more of these. We'll maybe go into depth of like how to make one live. We'll walk through it, answer some questions or something. I know this was kind of impromptu, but it was his first time doing a stream, and I was like, dude, you got to share
yeah,
your info. So you got questions? Come join the Discord. Then message him. But I just want to keep this short, so 37 minutes already. So thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna upload. It's Resume Saturday, right? So I'm gonna upload a resume review video, and then on top of that, I'm gonna do best places to live and work for web development, and then how to also get an H-1B visa, and then how to find remote jobs. So those will be my videos today. Hey, thanks, Keenan, for the birthday. I have a Patreon because I have to shill it because I just have to get myself in the habit of doing it. So I'm sorry that I'm shilling, but I have a Patreon if you want to support it. Links in the description, and I'll see you guys later.
later, guys. Thank